Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Andy, and in this video I want to talk about my relationship with the Polish language. So I've been learning Polish for 2.5 years now, and I want to talk about my journey from the beginning right through to now. So I'm making a series of videos, and each video is about my relationship with a particular language. Being a language dabbler, I have dabbled in so many languages in my life. And what I want to do is go back to have a look at my relationship with each of those languages that I've dabbled in. And when I say I want to look at each language, I mean I want to look at each one that I've studied for at least a couple of months or more, because I have dabbled in even more languages than I'm going to look at. So I'm a bit of a butterfly when it comes to languages. I float around and go from here to there. And I'm having a bit of a self-reflective moment in that I want to review myself and see what's been effective, and then try to make a plan for the future in order to learn more and in order to learn something quite effectively. So as far as me and Polish are concerned, and by the way, I'm making this video in English for a change because in each of the videos I plan to make them in the target languages. So I know my Polish is okay enough to make a video, a longer video, and I've been making lots of Polish videos lately, so I'm letting myself off the hook on this one and just speaking English for a change. But I want to explain in English and maybe inspire people if they want to learn Polish about the language, and how if you're having trouble with the language, you might get inspired by my journey and how I've the mistakes I've made along the way and how I've developed over the years. So it's taken me 3 years to be able to distinguish lots of the sounds in Polish. Some of the sounds are quite similar to the untrained ear, and for example, like words like "sprzedować" and I don't know, like "przymieszcz," where there are lots of groups of consonants together, and it's really sometimes hard to distinguish, in spoken Polish, where the consonants begin and end. So, right. So, what have I been doing? So, first of all, when I first started learning Polish, I had studied Russian before, so I had studied a Slavic language, and I had dabbled in Croatian as well a few years ago. So I had a bit of a head start with Slavic languages, and there are lots of loanwords between these in this family of languages. So I had a bit of a head start. I started off from scratch with Polish. I hadn't learned any before, and I have a Polish volunteer, so she helped me with lots of pronunciation and explaining things to me. I have lots of exposure to Polish people in my shop where I work, but over the last few years, the number of Polish people, has increased, and we've also had shops pop up in the area. So I can't help but be sort of drawn into being able to speak to more Polish people, which has been very helpful. And then I went to Warsaw last month for 4 days to the Polyglot Gathering, so I was able to speak Polish there. So all in all, it's a language that I've been lucky with it, in that I've had lots of exposure to the language. So what have I been doing? I started off doing Duolingo. I bought lots of Polish books. I bought lots of books that were too advanced for me as well, and I put them on hold, and some of them I went back to and did a bit later. I was lucky enough to be in lockdown last year and the year before for long months at a time, so I was able to study the language, and I had a teacher as well on italki for a bit. So I started watching Netflix TV series last year in Polish, and I went through a whole loads of crime series because I couldn't find anything I was really interested in. I don't like stand-up comedy. There's lots of stand-up comedy on Netflix for Polish, and I ended up watching crime series and getting into those, and ended up picking up lots of phrases and colloquialisms from those things. but I didn't kind of like actively try to understand everything. I just watched it and knew I could only understand a bit of it at the time, and I would pick out phrases that I quite liked the sound of. I kept hearing time and time again, and I thought to myself, after 3 or 4 times, I would understand it. I also did Pimsleur's Polish, the whole course, but it only goes up to level 1, so I did that as well. And I feel like I'm probably ready to move away from Polish now, even though I'm not fluent in Polish, but I have enough to be able to speak to customers in my shop. So I've noticed my own progress in that when I went back to work after lockdown, so that was last year in April, I was able to have conversations with customers that I'd only been able to say a few phrases to previously. So that was really good, and that was encouraging, and it's helped the customers themselves keep coming back to my shop and wanting to have more conversations with me. This year, I feel that I can speak even more Polish again. And I have one customer in particular who keeps coming into my shop, and she's very intense and she speaks Polish really fast. And I can't understand some of what she says, but then she speaks fast in English as well. And she goes backwards and forwards, code switching between the two. And I find it challenging speaking to her, but interesting as well because she teaches me phrases. And I noticed that I couldn't say something a while ago, and now I can say something to her. And she said, "Oh, you know this word now. You're coming on," kind of thing. So she's very encouraging, very demanding, very challenging, but very good for me to bring me out of my comfort zone. So I'm going to have situations like that in my shop, and I feel like I don't need to learn any more Polish because I will naturally be exposed to the language anyway. So in a way, that's why I'm kind of speaking English, because I do speak a lot of Polish throughout the week, even though it's not fluent. I have a Polish playlist that you can have a look at here. It might be here or here. I'm not sure which way the thing comes up. I'll try and put that on later. And so this is my Polish video about my relationship with Polish. Thanks for watching.